Welcome to Southside News, where we cover new, old, and often irrelevant news. I'm Rote, your host today, and we have some news from our war fronts. Starting with reports from the southeast, Trice has started a campaign into Wicked Creek and has encroached on Angel Liberation Front South, sparking various conflicts over structures. Tri has tried their hardest, and their morale is illustrated by this video.
Let's go, in and out, 20 minutes adventure.
I can't do this anymore!
That was seriously up. We almost died.
So you agree?
Yes, this was insane. That was pure luck. I was not in control of that situation at all. Look at this, Morty. Look at my f***ing hand. Look at this shit.
Why do you keep doing this to us?
I don't know, Morty. Maybe I hate myself.
Tri has racked up almost over 300 billion in losses and has lost many structures in the region so far, with many more losses seemingly to come. Also in the region, word has it that ASIM CEO Asar has lost his nightmare during a fleet engagement, and apparently, in his own words, to a non-issue. And in more recent news, two corps have chosen to leave ASIM for reasons currently unknown, with Asar even seeming to comment on ASIM has been feeding to their enemies. We also have news from the north. Boss has lost their last staging fort, choosing to turn operations towards guerrilla warfare and employing heavy use of the covert Sino. They've also begun to use old road tactics, using drag bubbles to catch raiders jumping between Tartaras and the 4H Keepstar. They've also employed bumping tactics to snag an AFK Hell. If you're a super capital salesman, it's a great day to message this poor chap. We've also heard from Brisk Grubel of Karma Fleet on how their side of the North engagement is going, with reports of apparent decline of fights being taken and many SIGs going to harass the Frat Menace. Goons seem to be in a good spot to win this war of attrition. Now, a word from our sponsors before we get to our next segment.
Crave. In the heat of the moment.
Warp drive active.
Have you or a loved one experienced bouts of depression, homicidal tendencies, increased irateness, or psychological breaks after or during the usage of Alpha & Co implants? If you or a loved one have experienced these symptoms, you may be eligible for compensation up to 500 million ISK. For more information or compensation eligibility, call 1-800-YOU'RE-FUCKED.
Welcome back to Southside News. Our next section is surrounding the recent drama with Outfox. Ashy, Outfox CEO, has recently disappeared from the game after a recording surfaced of her on comms saying some racist comments. After internal drama and a damage control post on her blog, Outfox dissolved. Many heading to Turbo Feeder Glory or Corp well acquainted with Outfox. Turbo apparently has some new internal plans, however they have been pushed back due to focus being put on their new member population. On that note, let's give our last segment to Rote, long-standing Turner residents of almost a year. Over the last year, Rote has been up to some interesting stuff, most notably participating in the Great Dread Brawl in Turner 2 months ago, totaling over 1 trillion losses. Interestingly, they share Turner with many other groups, however not blue to anyone. The biggest group in this deal happens to be Deepwater, wanting to share the 3 nullsec static wormholes spawning in the system. Rote has mostly stayed away from faction warfare, as when they landed in their home they were told to piss off, and Minmatar faction warfare groups never followed through on timers made on their structures. Rote continues to keep a presence in Turner and often skirmishes with Frat, who seem to be the go-to enemy for Northerners. However, the dislike of Frat on Rote's part is quite understandable. Stemming from the bad blood during their time in Pontcheven, Rote continues to poke and harass Frat and their friends. That's all for today on Southside News. More stories about rapid implant failures and booster effects coming at 1600.